I know that. And even though I know that it was a joke or whatever, I felt that there's truth in everything. Because I was so unsure of that aspect in my life, I think that's why it hit so much, because I was already internalizing that myself. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I grew up in the worst conditions, because I didn't, but I grew up in an environment where it's very easy to slip into selling drugs or doing drugs. It's very easy to see the people around you not doing anything with your life as far as your family. It's very easy to see them working a 9 to 5. That's just all it is. Or them telling you go to college. You know, it's very easy for people to put their ideals on you, and for that to be set in stone and what you want. But I never resonated with none of that. Yo, what's good, y'all? So y'all see I'm in a bit of a different setting because I just watched some video on, actually I'll show you real quick. I just watched this video, A Guide to Believing in Yourself, and what else did I watch? I know, it's not the, you feel me? I don't got the crisp cuts for y'all right now, but this is very in the moment. And I watched this video earlier today, Earn Your Leisure. It's basically high-level conversations. The point of me showing y'all that and me saying that is I haven't posted in about 3 weeks, and I was trying to figure out, like, why am I not posting, you know? Usually I be, even right now, you see I got holes in my shirt. I just finished cleaning the crib. Even usually when I'm recording, I'm like sitting down like at a table, and I just started thinking like a lot of this stuff I was doing because I felt like that was how you needed to show up. You get what I'm saying? Like that was how I needed to present myself. Like I needed to be sitting down at the table. I needed to be talking about certain topics, you feel me? Like, or trying to find a balance of what's trending, my niche, which is like self-development, fashion, lifestyle, and other things and stuff like that, spirituality. Trying to put my own spin on it. I don't think it's anything wrong with that, but I feel like it just wasn't resonating with me, you know? Like I was making these videos and these are the topics that I like to talk about, but I found myself wanting to talk about certain topics but not being able to express it fully on camera. And I think I spoke about that in one of my earlier videos. Just being in this place where I have so much knowledge and I'm still teaching myself and I'm still learning things about, whether it be about Black history, where we came from, like true history. I'm still learning and I'm still teaching myself these things every day, and I'm taking notes of books that I want to read and all this other things, you know, trying to educate myself. To backtrack a little bit, as I was trying to figure out like, damn, Kenny, like why are you not posting? I know it wasn't laziness. I didn't feel like laziness. I was trying to refocus and realign my YouTube, and I was like, I started unpacking that and asking myself why, and I started to get to a point where I was like, I feel like I need to educate myself. You know, I don't want to be, one, I'm not a person to talk out of my ass or talk about things I don't understand or don't know or give my opinion on a situation I haven't properly educated myself on. I'm not that person. So even the topics that bring me the most joy, the most passion, or things I feel like we all should know about, I need to be more educated on that. This feels a lot better and a lot more organic. To go back to that point, like I'll have meaningful conversations, whether it be about where we came from or things we need to do as a humanity, as a collective, how we need to come together. You know, these meaningful, subsequential conversations with my friends or my peers, or, you know, very few people, because if you're aligned with the things I care about, you know, self-development, spirituality, and all these things, and just being the best version of you and trying to bring the best out in the world as well. There's not as much people you can find to have those sort of conversations with. You get what I'm saying? There's not that much people out there. So when you do have these great high-level conversations, it's always a breath of fresh air. I'm saying all of that to say I was trying to figure out how to bring that part out of me on camera, because I feel like I'm not uncomfortable on camera. I've been doing YouTube like seriously for 2 years now, not even a year on my own channel yet, and I make a whole bunch of content on Instagram. I'm at like 100 and something reels, you get what I'm saying? So you get even more comfortable the more you do things. That's just how life is. I don't feel like I'm at a place where I'm uncomfortable on camera, especially in my own crib. I was trying to unpack that and be like, why can't I relay these messages? Why can't I try to help these people that have been in my situation, whether it's you came up with nobody in your life and you're raising yourself and you're trying to figure out life yourself. You're at a state where I'm at, where you're in your 20s and you're still trying to figure that point out, or you're starting to pick up some steam where you're learning about yourself. You get what I'm saying? How can I speak to these people and try to help guide them and just tell you my mistakes that I've made and just share my learnings with you, my knowledge with you, like what I've gained so far and just my perspective. And I realized that it has to be, I'm a very organic, in the flow type of person. Some of my best ideas are like that. When I make my Instagram content, is like that. Obviously everything can get better and I always see improvement in myself, but just in general, like that's how I operate. I'm a very in the moment within structure, like, you get what I'm saying? I built structure, you know, as far as I have a content content calendar, etc. Just trying to be able to bring that out on these important topics. And to get back to those videos I watched, that guide to knowing yourself, it was about 13 minutes. I don't know her last name, but her first name is Catherine, and she was just explaining how she had this idea about making a medical comedy, kind of like, I would say, I guess, like The Office, but in the medical field, like in a pediatric hospital or something like that. Her dad said something on the lines of, like, I'm paraphrasing, I don't think he was like, you're crazy, but basically saying that would never work. And she said how those words kept reverberating back in her head over and over and over, and that brought me instantly to a time where I'm big on, just to give you a little bit of backstory, I love music. I love mainly the aspect of beat making, how you create something from nothing and how you cultivate a sound and a mood, and it could move people. I'm really big on that, you feel me? So I always wanted to get into that space, and I want to do it as a hobby, as a form of self-love, self-care, you know, as a form of expression. I don't really look to take it any further than that. I want it to be more intimate, you feel me? So I want to perfect that. So a while ago, when I was still living with my moms, I went and bought a MPC. I was using my old MacBook that was definitely not able to handle all of that. I kind of cut off distractions, so like I really wasn't on the game that much. I was like, all right, you feel me? Like, I'm gonna focus up. I'm gonna try to learn this and see. Fast forward, it was about a month or so. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like this. I don't even know if this person even remembers, but one of my friends called me. At that point, I knew that I didn't want to. I've learned that I didn't want to tell people things to allow any sort of energy that might throw me off, or any sort of verbiage that might throw me off. Because I know when I tell people I care about I'm doing certain things. Well, back then, now it's not like that. But back then, if I would tell somebody certain thing, there's always a 1% chance of me, you know, a small percent chance of me. Because for the most part, I'd be like, I'm gonna still do whatever I want to do regardless. But sometimes it could be hard to combat it when you care for somebody so much, or you have a love for a person. They just say something that just throws it off. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, why would you do that, or something like that? You get what I'm saying? So getting back to that conversation, my friend, and we still friends to this day. I never expressed that it bothered me to this person, and I never I most likely won't. Not because it's like I don't feel like it needs to be something on. I feel like it's more so inner work. But anyway, the person called me and they're like, yo, like, what you doing, whatever. I'm telling them what I'm doing. I'm like, you know, I want to share this part. I bought a machine, like, you feel me? I'm trying to figure out how to make beats, so I'm not really focused on this other aspect that I usually be consuming. I'm gonna paraphrase it because it's so, like, it's out of my mind now, but it was something like, oh, like, it's always something new with you, or it's something like, oh, this is what you're doing now. I think it was that, like, oh, this is what you're doing now. And then there was some other things, and I don't think the person said it out of malice or anything like that, but I took it like that. I internalized all of that, and when I tell you, I did not touch it. I did not touch it that day. Maybe I did one more time. I didn't even think about the app no more. I started making excuses. I didn't even want to deal with it. And that, I always knew, you always know, me being aware and in tune and learning myself and constantly working on that, I know how much words impact people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know that. And even though I know that it was a joke or whatever, I felt that there's truth in everything, and I also shaped that, because it could have ended, at the end of the day, I don't think it was any sort of malice. I think that friend was joking and it wasn't that serious, but because I was so unsure of that aspect in my life, I think that's why it hit so much, because I was already internalizing that myself. Like, I'm a person, especially if you know me, not so much now, I'm getting more organized and more structured in that way, but I'll start something and it doesn't take me long to pick up things. Within, I was doing that for about a week, and I was already, like, you feel me, getting spicy with the beats and doing different things. Like, my learning curve is like that, bro, it's good. But I was already feeling that within myself, like, prior to that conversation, like, Kenny, you gotta stay on one thing. Like, you keep going here and you do good, and then maybe something happens and you stop, or you get distracted, you try to do too much things at once. You get what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, you feel me? Like, I'm doing it, you feel me? Like, I was always trying different things, and that's cool. You should be experiencing everything, experimenting with everything, because I don't want to have no regrets. You get what I'm saying? So I live by that now, like, no regrets. If there's somebody I want to speak to, whether it be a relationship or a friendship, or there's somewhere I want to go, even if I don't have the answers right now, I just trust that it'll come, and I put myself in that position as best as I can to be able to experience that or that person. You get what I'm saying? Now it's a lot different, but when I heard that, it hit so much. And even me talking to y'all right now has given me that realization just now, that that's why I internalized it so much, because that belief was wavered. You feel me? There was doubt there that I could do something, or that I could keep a consistency with something. You get what I'm saying? Like, there was doubt. So when I heard those words, it triggered that in me, that, you feel me, that those insecurities in me, those self-doubts in me, those imposter syndromes. You feel me? Like, even with the YouTube, I'll be like, my goal is to inspire the world. You get what I'm saying? Inspire the world and leave it better than when I came in. And I have a lot of ways I want to do that, and that I will do that. I also want to be able to help people. I want to be able able to build that influence and help people like me that grew up and maybe you had to raise yourself. You feel me? You didn't have no role models, no mentors. That's why J. Cole, No Role Models, that song, even thinking about it now, it resonates with me so much. Like that first line, like he's like, no role models, but I'm here right now. You feel me? Like no role models to speak of. Searching through my memory, I couldn't find one. That when I heard that song, between the beat and everything, like I know I'm getting off track. That's like J. Cole did his shit, bro. Like that shit is so hard because it resonates so much. Cause when I was growing up, there was nobody, bro. I already knew from a young age. Like I grew up. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I grew up in the worst conditions, cause I didn't. But I grew up in an environment where it's very easy to slip into selling drugs or doing drugs. It's very easy to see the people around you not doing anything with your life as far as your family. It's very easy to see them working a 9 to 5. That's just all it is. Or them telling you go to college. You know, it's very easy for people to put their ideals on you and for that to be set in stone and what you want. But I never resonated with none of that. You feel me? I never wanted to do none of that. Even when my teachers used to tell me like, yo, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. And then one of my good teachers, I think he's the only one that saw the good, I feel like, in everybody, because he really came from that, bro. But not only did he came from that, because there was a couple of teachers in there that came from them situations, but they didn't take the time to understand. You get what I'm saying? Like he saw things, you feel me, and he kept it 100 with me, like telling me like, yo, these teachers, they talking crazy. You get what I'm saying? Like, and just different things like that. But I never cared because I always felt that greatness. I know I'm going off in a different place, but I grew up in a situation where it was so much other options that I could have took that was not good. You get what I'm saying? And especially when you're raising yourself and there's nobody there, the only things you can shape yourself or how you want to be is based off how either your parents or whoever's raising you, or if you're even fortunate to be in a situation like that, is the closest person that you see on an everyday. You're either going to choose to be that person or you're going to choose to not be that person. You get what I'm saying? And ultimately the choice is yours. You get what I'm saying? You could play the victim and you can be like, well, you know, I grew up in this situation, so that's why I went down that path, or this happened to me and this is why I went down that path. And I'm not saying it's easy when you have trauma, you go through things, but I think it's your job. It's all about perspective and your mindset. You can choose how you want to shift that. You get what I'm saying? When my car got repoed, I could have just had my tail between my legs and be like, well, that's it. You feel me? That's it. It's over. Instead, I stood in a good mindset, in a good place, because that allowed me to find solutions versus playing the victim and being like, well, something's always bad is always happening. You feel me? And I acknowledge where I messed up and where I could have been better. When I moved all my stuff, when I put all my stuff in a car and came here and shipped my car here to Atlanta from Cali, basically paying a hotel day by day until I maybe got approved into the apartment complex when I already got denied by one. I could have just folded, bro. I could have just been like, well, it's over. I'm out. I'm not even gonna wait for them to hit me up. I'm going back to New York. I kept a positive mindset. I looked at all the good things that could have happened and made adjustments. And then as soon as I was like, you know what is my other options? What can I do? I got a call from this apartment complex that I got accepted. And I say all of that to say that it's all about perspective. You get what I'm saying? I don't even know where this conversation is going. Let's get back a little bit. I want to help this world grow, bigger influence, and I want to help people that's been in my situation that you might not have nobody right now. You feel me? You might be in middle school, going into high school, or you might be in college, or you just might be in your 20s. Maybe you're not in no school. Maybe you're just trying to figure out your life. You get what I'm saying? And you don't have nobody. There's nobody that looks like you doing, you feel me, what you want to do. You feel me? I want to be able to speak to those people and help people that just walk those same shoes that I have. You know, hopefully my insight and my perspective can just give you some sort of peace of mind and direction in where you want to go with your life. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be anybody to tell you how you should live it or how you shouldn't live it. You get what I'm saying? I think you should live your life without regrets, and that means risk. You need to take, and I say that quote unquote, you feel me? A lot of people saw what I did as moving to LA from New York out of my mom's crib as a risk. Then moving to Atlanta a year later as a risk. Taking all my stuff, not having a place to stay, just moving here. All these things are how you grow. You get what I'm saying? Like these aren't risk. If anything, they're all lessons. You need to be able to push yourself out your comfort zone with whether it's whatever you do. If you want to be a chef, you don't need to have no accolades or have all these awards to make great meals and to prove that you are worthy to be in this space or to have this passion. You don't need to do none of that, bro. And that's something else I'll struggle with, because I'll be like, I want to help people, or I want to put people in a position to do this, or you know, and then I'll question myself like, who am I to do that? You feel me? Like that imposter syndrome. Who am I to do that? I don't have this much followers. I don't have this much subscribers. You feel me? I don't have this platform. I don't have all these public speakings. I don't have these motivations, you know, videos or quotes or whatever the case may be. Just to that conditioning that you need to be a certain way, or you need to present your life a certain way to be successful. And shout out to Lynette. Atkins. I know I shout her out a lot on my channel. I was watching some of her videos. She's big on like self-development, spirituality, you know, just coming into yourself. That's what I get from her channel. And I like to watch her channel before I make content, but I didn't even plan this video out. I was just watching her video as I was watching a lot of motivational videos compared to watching some other trash, or, you know, just not some other sort of form of distractions, I should say. Also gave me a lot of perspective. I was watching her most, not her most recent video, but I forgot which one, but I'll pop it up on here, the card. But I'm making more of a conscious effort to align myself with these people and those thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Like, just because I don't have all these likes, all these subscribers, all these people following me, all these people commenting me, all these people trying to be around me, like anything you might want to associate with being able to be influential. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I can't get there. I don't deserve to be in that space, that I'm not walking in that space right now. You get what I'm saying? That I'm not capable influencing the world how I want to, or being able to make this sort of change that I want to, that I see in myself and that I see I can provide for the world. You get what I'm saying? I know this is all over the place. I think my camera might die or shut off, but the point is, don't let anybody or anything tell you you can't do what you want to do. And I know everybody say that. I think a lot of people miss out when they say those things. Is it comes from inside, bro. Do that work. You feel me? I have a routine, and granted, I haven't done my routine in months, and I've been justifying it, basically saying, you know what, well, I've been being productive because I've been making a lot of content as far as on Instagram and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. You need to do that inner work, and then everything else is gonna make so much sense. When I was on that journey of doing my routine every day and having that discipline in that, you feel me, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much more about, you know, history. I was reading more. I love reading. I know I need to do it. I need to be consistent with it. I was just doing all these things, and it was putting me in the perfect mindset. Well, let me not say the perfect mindset, but it was feeding me and feeding my soul, and I was taking care of myself. And as a result, I feel, even now still, I feel everything is unfolding, but it's only because I was doing that work. Basically, I'm gonna end this. I'm still here on YouTube, but I want to make sure I'm giving you guys value, and that comes with me working on myself, me educating myself to be able to speak to y'all and to be able to make the impact and the influence that I want to have. Not for me, because honestly, I could care less about being famous. If I could do all the things I want to do for the world without being famous, I would happily do that. You get what I'm saying? Happily do that. But I feel this is the right way. There's not too much people, especially guys, that speak about this. You know, I know we get caught up in like societal standards of like, you need to be doing this, you need to be chasing money, you need to be chasing females, you feel me, you need to be doing all of this. You really need to be working on yourself, and the more you understand yourself, the more you understand everybody. I promise. It'll be times where somebody's arguing now, or they'll say some shit to me, and before it might have triggered me, but because I did so much work on myself, especially in that area, I could see the pain in their eyes. I could see that all of that stuff is coming from them. They're projecting all that stuff they got going on within them, and it makes me more empathetic in those situations and a lot more understanding. You get what I'm saying? But I think the camera's about to die, so I don't know the basis of this video, but basically, is that something above my head, or is that like, oh, that's on the camera. I hope I was able to take something from this, and it's able to help you out in your day-to-day, or it challenged you to go do your own research on something, whether it be your history or just history of everything in general, or go watch something on how to be a better you, or read some books on how to be a better you. But I just hope it, if anything, it provided some sort of positivity into your life. I'm still here on YouTube. I'm going to be more consistent. Like I said, I do fashion, lifestyle, self-development, spirituality, and everything like that. I just want to make sure I'm providing value. I'm also doing that work within myself, and I know one time, as I'm taking care of that, everything else will be able to be taken care of, and I'll be able to help you guys build a positive community and be able to have real impact, real positive impact on the world. Yeah, so until the next one, let me see y'all.